This is so important. Please, if you are unable to speak but you need help, please make that signal. And also, please be aware of your surroundings.
It's just a single fluid movement where you lift your hand, you turn your thumb in, and you trap your thumb. And it's something that means, please check in with me. I need somebody to make sure that I'm safe and that I'm supported. So when you see the signal for help, you know that you're to check in with the person after the fact at a time that's safe, in a safe way. So you can reach out, message them and say, hey, I'm here. Reach out to me when you get a moment. And that person can take the lead. We started the Signal for Help in April 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. We knew that gender-based violence like intimate partner abuse and sexual assault and emotional abuse would increase in the pandemic because it often does whenever there's a crisis or disaster. At the same time, too, we also knew that there would be an increase in video calls. So it seemed like the right time to put out a tool that might be useful to people who are going through something difficult.
We wonder how long that this girl had been doing this signal because the vast majority of most people probably would not recognize that signal for what it meant. We didn't even know what it meant. We definitely do now. And we think it's wonderful. We think it's a wonderful tool.
The response is really based on the circumstances and how you've seen it. So in this particular case that we've heard about a young woman doing it out of a car door, you know that the most important thing for you to do right then is to call 911 because she's in immediate distress and danger. But most of the time, a lot of this violence happens behind closed doors. It happens in a way that is ongoing. So in that circumstance where you would know the person and they use it, it means that they can't vocalize at that moment that they need support. So you would follow up after the fact using that relationship that you have to say, hey, what do you need me to do? They might be monitored very closely. So it's important that you let them take the lead in that circumstance. Any signal or sign is not going to be useful in every moment. And certainly anything that an abuser sees can be a bad thing to use in that circumstance. I believe that survivors know what's going to be useful for them in a particular circumstance. So it's important that they have access to these things and they use what is best for them. But I think it's important for us to recognize that any sign or signal, we're waiting for somebody to use it. We need to be much more proactive than that. We need to know about it. We need to proactively tell our friends and family, if you're going through a dangerous situation or a tough circumstance, I'm going to support you and I'm not going to judge you. That's the most important thing for us to do. So more than the sign or signal itself, it's what all of us around them are doing. We have to be signal responders, whatever that signal is. If somebody doesn't use the signal for help, they still might need your support.